I pick up an alligator that is bigger than I am, people like clap, cheers, anybody out there? Yeah, it's a live show. I like a live audience too. Now this alligator is 8.5 feet. He weighs about 250 pounds. If you want a picture, do me a favor. Hurry up. No, really, I'm waiting. Come on. So we're going to take him. We're going to set him down right over here in the sand. There you go, big fella. And let's go ahead and check out the jaws on the alligator. Take a look at this. There you go, big guy. So take a look in there. Now, if you look inside of his mouth, you will see there are 80 teeth in there. 40 on the top and 40 on the bottom. Now, they can actually break the teeth off, they grow them back, and they cycle through several thousand teeth in their life. Now, that comes in handy because of how hard they can bite. A large gator can bite down with an entire ton of force within that mouth, 2,000 pounds per square inch of power. Y'all do not look impressed with that number. Think about this, 2,000 pounds, that's enough power to snap any bone in your body. That would flatten your head like a pancake. If that does not impress you, it's because you're on the wrong side of the glass. Now, even though they bite down with all that power, you can actually hold their jaws shut with your bare hand, as you can see me doing now. The power is enclosing, very little for opening. So if you're ever about to be attacked by one, remember, you don't have to run, just simply turn around and grab the jaws. I'm kidding, of course. Run for your life. Yeah, don't try that. Now, we have all the alligators in here for a reason, okay? This is actually a rescue. These guys are what we call nuisance alligators. That means these are ones that showed up in the backyard, a swimming pool, he ate Fluffy, stuff like this. Now, once he eats somebody's dog, they send out a trapper that will capture and kill the alligator. Unless the dog behaves a Pomeranian, they let that slide. Now, unfortunately, though, the state of Florida does kill several thousand nuisance gators a year, which is really sad. It's not his fault. It's usually a nuisance person. By that, I mean people that feed them. You see, once you feed him, he's going to learn to associate people with food. You don't have the food, you are the food. Okay? That's why it's against the law to feed alligators in the wild. Now, what we do in here, though, is we do our shows with these nuisance alligators instead of him being turned into a suitcase, which you appreciate this, right, buddy? Now, the reason why they are here, too, is because the state of Florida only allows two options. Nuisance gators are either shot and killed, which is 99% of them, or a very, very small number have to live out their lives in captivity, or rather, they get to live out their lives in captivity instead of being turned into leather. Now, the reason why they don't relocate them is because they actually have a homing ability. And by that, I mean, even if you took him 100 miles out in the Everglades and let him go, if you give him a few months, he will go back to the exact same backyard he was caught from. They have this incredible homing ability, and that's why they are recognized as being such amazing navigators. Navigators, guys. I told you the jokes get worse. I warned you on this, okay? Now, gator wrestling, as you can tell here, this is not like wrestling in a ring. I do not headlock or body slam the poor alligator. It's actually techniques used by the native tribes of Florida to catch them, where they would jump on the back and then hold the jaws shut between your chin and your chest, allowing your hands to be free to take out a rope and then tie the jaws shut so they can safely bring the alligator back to their camp. Now, holding the jaws shut against your throat sounds like a horrible idea. Would you like me to demonstrate it? Yeah, what could go wrong, right? Now, this makes a cool photo, and I give you a thumbs up like this, or if it goes horribly wrong, just switch your camera from photo to video. All right, so we're going to hold on nice and tight. All right, that's enough of that for me. All right. I do appreciate the 8 people that clapped out of 100. That meant a lot. Now, here's the big question you guys are probably trying to figure out the entire time, though. The big question, why aren't they all attacking me? Why aren't they more aggressive? How am I still alive? And why do you look disappointed I'm still alive? Now, when they first come in from the wild, they are very defensive. He's going to try to kill me because he thinks I'm going to kill him. He's afraid of me. Now, once they realize I'm not going to hurt him, I do an animal-friendly show, he's much more calm, relaxed. He tolerates this show because he knows I'm not going to hurt him. I mean, look, he's not trying to fight back. He goes along with the show because he knows I'm not going to hurt him. Now, they also know, more importantly, that if he tries to mess with me, I make him do the show instead. You hear what I mean by that? Okay? Now, does that mean that they are tame and trained and I can trust any of them? Absolutely not. They are alligators. They're not Labradors, okay? There is no bond, there is no friendship. If I like trip and fall in here, or my hand slips, or he's just having a bad day, yeah, this guy would rip my hand off. In fact, about once a week when I'm walking in the water like you saw and I'm just kind of strolling around, I will have one of them jump up and try to grab my leg. It's pretty normal in here. It's part of the job because, again, they are wild animals. It's not a Labrador, okay? In fact, this one actually bit my old boss one time. Actually, multiple times this guy bit my old boss. That's why he's my favorite alligator. Now, right behind the eyes are the ears back here. They can actually seal off the ears, the nostrils, and the back of the throat. Although they live in the water, they don't breathe underwater, but they do hold their breath over 6 hours at a time. Now, another common question is, what's the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? There are many differences, but the easy ones, the alligator has a round, broad snout. Crocs have more narrow, pointed snout. Alligators are darker, crocs are lighter, and gators are usually freshwater, while crocs are usually saltwater. Now, why should you care about any of that? Because Florida is actually the only place in the world where you guys have the choice of being eaten by an alligator or a crocodile. No, really though, that's not a joke. It's actually the only place that has both gators and crocs native. I've seen them hanging out in ponds together. Now people ask me who's going to win in a fight, an alligator or a crocodile. The reality is I've seen them hang out together and get along pretty well. They don't try to kill each other for looking different like people. It's a really cool thing, guys. Now I have one more trick I'm going to show you with this alligator. Before I do it, I just want to tell you about myself so you don't think I'm just some redneck. I see the serious judgment out here. I actually have a bachelor's degree in environmental studies from Florida International University, so educated redneck, thank you. No, thanks. I actually work with a lot of different wildlife, not just the alligators. I also work with crocodiles, venomous snakes, sharks, and I'm active in research out here in the Everglades. We go out and we catch gators and crocs for the university, where we will weigh, measure, tag, release as part of ongoing monitoring projects. I love doing research, it's awesome. It makes about this much money. So that's why I also risk life and limb for the entertainment of complete strangers. Yes, here we are. So if you guys enjoy the show, you have fun, you learn about the alligator, I greatly appreciate anything that goes in my little tip jar at the end. That's my life insurance policy. Now, the last trick we're going to do, it's called the face off. Now, it's called the face off because if I mess up, my face comes off. I'm going to open up the jaws, I'm going to set my chin on the edge of the open jaw, balancing the jaws open with just my chin. Now, if anything touches on the inside, like a drop of sweat, a grain of sand, boom, the jaws slam shut instantaneously. It is a reflex for the alligator to close. If you don't believe me, look up the YouTube video of the guy replaced. Yeah, no, it's a lot of dark humor, guys. So let's see if he's going to cooperate. Yeah, hold on, yeah, he bites. Yeah, he does bite, guys. Like, I wasn't making it up. This gator has bit multiple people. It's not a joke. Now, I'm going to see if he's going to play nice. Now, look, buddy, if you're a good boy, at the end of the show, I'm going to get you a nice chihuahua, okay? And that's his favorite. He loves those things. Now, before I go and put my face against his teeth, guys, I need a little bit of motivation. You are enjoying the show out there, right? Yeah. All right, good. Yeah, I want to make sure if I die, you at least have fun. So here we go, very carefully. Smells great, by the way. Yeah. All right, that's enough of that, huh? Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for the alligator. Give him the applause.